This is where we learn what is a bottom-up approach. Correct? Conventionally, how can you think of doing it? Making equations, right? So Radha is distributing apples to her children. First son walks in, Radha gives him half the apple plus 2 extra apples. Second son comes, Radha again gives him half the remaining apples plus 2 extra apples. Finally, the third son comes and Radha gives again does the same. Now she has no apples left. How many apples did she have in the beginning, right? So let's say if I want to do the conventional way, how do I do? Let's say this is what he initially had. Initial. This is what she gave away and this is what is she left with. So let's say she started with x. How much did she give the first person? X by 2 plus 2. What is she left with then? X minus x by 2 plus 2. That would be equal to x by 2 minus 2. So for the second son, when he comes in, what is initially she has? X by 2 minus 2. From this, x by 2 minus 2 by 2 plus 2. So what is she left with? You can calculate it separately. It would be x by 2 by 2 minus 2. Then the third person will come. So if you see, it will become really complex, right? And what if there are 4, 5, 10 people? So this conventional way would be really, really complex. What we would do is we will do it in a different manner, which is a bottom approach, like I said, right? Same grid we will have. How do I do it is, if I have to give you a keyword here, so we are movie rewind. Let's put it this way to keep it simple and interesting. Movie rewind. I'm going to watch this as a movie and I will rewind it, right? It's a movie. Radha is sitting, an actress is sitting, and then this person comes. Radha gave her the half apples and 2 more, then third, second, and third, and lastly, she doesn't have any apple. This entire movie we will watch in rewind. And before we go there, we'll see one more thing here. What is that? One concept here. Let's say if you have X apples with you, any commodity, let's say you have X apples with you. If I give you half, so I give you half, right? So I give you x by 2. So what am I left with is the question. I had x apples, I gave you x by 2. What am I left with? I'm again left with x by 2. What does that mean? This is important. Listen to this statement very carefully. When I give you what I have, if I give you half of what I have, I will also be left with half. That means whatever I gave you is equal to what I have. Always remember this. Whenever I give you what I have, if I give you half of it, I'm also left with half. So whatever I gave you is the same that I have. If I have 10 apples, I gave you 5, I will also be left with 5. If I have 20, I gave you 10, I will also be left with 10. So if I give you half the commodity, I will also have half of it. That means whatever I gave is equal to whatever I am left with. This is very important. Whatever I give is equal to whatever I am left with. This is very, very important before we go. Now let's start visualizing it, watching it in rewind. You know, I'm posting this, but you can go and watch this 10 times if you want to understand what it is exactly happening. So last, if you see what value do I fill here, think about this. Pause every time whenever you fill a value and think. So here I'll fill a 0. Why? Because here she did not have any apples. At the last, she did not have any apples. Now when I'm rewinding, what do I see? The third kid came in, right? And this third kid, when he came in, what happened? The first thing what happened? The first thing is he gave back Radha 2 apples, right? Because what did Radha give? Radha gave him 2 apples, half the apples. Then she was left with something. She gave her 2 more, and then she's left with nothing. So when you rewind it, try to visualize it. What happened? When you rewind it, what happened? The third son came back, and he gave back Radha the 2 apples that Radha has given her at the end. Right? That is the 2 apples that he gets back. Radha gets back from the son. Here you have to use this concept here. This is the time when Radha has given the third son half of what she had. If she has given half of what she had, what is she left with? She's left with another half, right? Rewind this if you want again and again. I'll repeat this anyways. When she has given the third son half of what she had, she was left with half of it, which means what she gave and what she has is equal. And how many does she have right now? 2. Because when she took back the 2, This is the instance when she has given him half of what she had. That means in total, Radha gave this kid 4 apples. Now understand, in the normal way, this son came in, Radha had 4 apples. First of all, she gave her half. She gave him half. What is half? X by 2. What is half? Out of 4, how much did she give him? 2. Half. Then she gave him 2 more because half is 2. So another 2 she is having. And they've said she gives 2 more. So 2 more, and then she's left with 0. So now that comes in sync. That means when the third kid came in, Radha had 4 apples. That means when the second son left, Radha had 4 apples. Now this reminding the second kid comes in again. He will go back giving 2 apples to Radha, right? Rewinding the movie. To the second kid, after giving half the apples, Radha gave 2 more. So that 2 she'll take, and right that moment, how many did she have here? See this? The very moment she has 6 apples. And she has 6 apples and she has given half to the second kid. Given is equal to what is left. What is she left with? 6. So 6 is what she gave. Total is 12. Watch it normally. 12, when the second kid came in, gave her half, which is 6. She was left with 6. Out of 6, she gave 4 more. So see, this is the crux of this question. This you have to understand, right? So that's why I said rewind it, go through this concept again and again. So the first kid, when he left, there were 12 apples. First kid comes in, 2 more. Radha is having now 14 apples. This 14 apples is when Radha has given half of it. If she has 14, what she has given is also 14 because given is equal to left. So initially she had 28 apples. From the beginning, she had 28 apples. And from here now, if you see, once you follow this approach, anything they ask, you can answer, right? They ask you how much did she give to the second kid? How much was she left after the first kid left? Anything you can answer from this table. There's no problem. Correct?